boys and girls, this is Miss Brianne and welcome back to our Let's Get Ready program. The program which is now for grades pre-K all the way to 3rd grade, where I teach you skills such as print recognition, phonics, vocabulary, handwriting skills, motor skills, choosing just right books, and all of that. Now, like I said, I'm doing this for preschool all the way to 3rd grade. And for this session is for the kindergarten student who is going to be going into 1st grade, as well as for 1st grade students who want to review some of the skills that they may have learned earlier. And today we're going to be reading 2 simple picture books. Now, what I usually like to do, especially during the beginning of a school year, is to choose books that are simpler than what your child can read at. That way they can quickly review the skills that they already learned in the previous year and then quickly move on, instead of getting older, trying to struggle a little bit trying to maybe learn new words or move up a level. But like I said, with simpler books, you don't stay on them for very long. You just let your child read them and then you move on to the next level once you know that they're reading well and reading fluently. But I have 2 simple picture books for you today, and they are called Blue Sea and Spot's Birthday Party. And they're very simple. They usually only have like 1 or 2 words, or maybe a 1 sentence at most. But as I'm reading, if you know any of the words, you can shout them out with me. I'll try and teach you some sight words as we go, and I will show you how to read the book. So, we ready? All right, here we go. So, the first book that we have today is Blue Sea. So, Blue Sea. The author is Robert Kalan. Now, the author is the person who writes the words to the story. The illustrator is Donald Cruz. And the illustrator is the person who draws the pictures in the story. And this is a Mulberry Paperback Book, which is published by Greenwillow Books. And the publisher is the company that puts the books together and sends them to the bookstores to sell. With that being said, are we ready to begin? Okay, here we go. Blue Sea. Now you see, you always, when you read a book, you always start at the top and work your way to the bottom, and you start left and move all the way to the right. So Blue Sea. And here's a clue. All of the book is blue, which represents what, boys and girls? The sea. Good job. Little fish. And look at the size of the fish. As you can see, the words are really small to match how small the fish is. Isn't that great? So we have a little fish. Big fish. So we have a big fish, and the words are a little bit bigger. And I like how they make the words the same color as the fish. Didn't you notice that, boys and girls? But let's do a sight word right now. So we have big. So what's the letter sound for B? B. The letter sound for I is I. And the letter sound for G is G. So, B, I, G, B, I, G, B, I, G, B, I, G, big, big. So, that's your first word, big. Swim, little fish. So as you can see, the fish is swimming away. All right, here we go. Big fish. So now we have a bigger fish, and they made the words even bigger. Swim, big fish. Swim, little fish. What do you think the big fish is trying to do with the little fish? Think the big fish is trying to play with the little fish? Or does it look like the big fish is trying to eat the little fish? Well, let's read to find out. Biggest fish. So we have a really big fish, and the words are really big too. Swim, bigger fish. Swim, big fish. Swim, little fish. Doesn't it look like they're trying to eat each other? Looks like the big fish is trying to eat the little fish. It looks like the bigger fish is trying to eat the big fish. And it looks like the biggest fish is trying to eat the bigger fish. That's crazy, right, boys and girls? What do you think is going to happen? Well, let's see. Small hole. Oh, that looks like a little hole, right? There goes bigger fish. There goes big fish. There goes little fish. So it looks like little fish, big fish, and bigger fish are able to swim through the hole. What about the biggest fish? Can he swim through the hole? What do you think? You think he'll do it? Well, let's see. Ouch! Uh-oh, it looks like he got stuck, so he can't get out. Goodbye, biggest fish. All right, so the biggest fish is gone. So now it's just bigger fish, big fish, and little fish. What do you think is going to happen? Well, let's see. Smaller hole. There goes big fish. There goes little fish. So it looks like the big fish and the little fish swam through the hole. What do you think about the bigger fish? Do you think he'll get through? Most of you probably thinking no, right? Well, let's see. Ouch! Looks like the bigger fish is stuck. Goodbye, bigger fish. So now the bigger fish is stuck and can't play anymore. So now it's just the big fish and the little fish. What do you think is going to happen, boys and girls? You think the big fish will get stuck in the hole? Let's see. Smallest hole. There goes was little fish. So the little fish swam through the hole. Do you think the big fish will be able to fit through that hole? What do you think? Maybe, maybe not. Well, let's see. Ouch! Goodbye, big fish. So the little fishes got away. Little fish, blue sea. And the little fish is swimming away. And that is the end of the story. Wasn't that a fun story, boys and girls? And that book was very easy to read. There's a lot of pictures to help you out. And I like how they increased how big the words are to match how big the fish are, which is really helpful for a young child when they're starting to learn to read. And the illustrate, even though they're not very detailed, they're extremely colorful, very simple, and easy to follow along for your child, which will allow them to help guess what happens in the story. But in any event, I certainly hope you had fun reading, listening to that story. I certainly enjoyed reading it to you. But let's move on to another very simple picture book. And this one is called Spot's Birthday Party. All right. So Spot's Birthday Party. The author and illustrator of this book is Eric Hill. And it is published by Puffin Books, which is also part of the Penguin Group, which is also part of Penguin Books Limited, and part of Penguin Putman Books. So, we ready to begin? Here we go. And this is actually a special picture book, and that it has surprises in it. Here we go. It's Spot's birthday. Let's play hide and seek. Alright, so it's Spot's birthday today. Now they're going to be playing a game. Now the good thing about this book is that the words are very big, which makes it easier for your child to read and figure out the letters. So it looks like he's playing hide and seek. It says here, this way to Spot's party. So he's having a party. And Spot is counting for hide and seek. 1, 2, 3. What do you think is going to happen, boys and girls? You think he's going to find his friends? Well, let's see. Ready or not, here comes Spot. Oh, so Spot's looking. He's looking. Let's take a look underneath this rug. Oh, his friend, an alligator. Not yet. So he has a friend hiding underneath the rug. Cool, huh? So he found one friend. Spot has found someone behind the curtain. Oh, what do you think Spot's going to find? It looks, yeah, he's pulling up the curtain. Let's see who it is. It's a bear. And he says, that was quick. Oh, looks like he's going to the cupboard now. And someone, what's this word, boys and girls? Good, it's in. And someone in the cupboard. Oh, who's in the cupboard? Let's find out. Oh, it's a snake. Oh, hiss. Oh, looks like Spot's found somebody else. Come out. Spot can see you. Who's underneath the shower curtain? It looks like a rhinoceros or a hippopotamus. I think it's a hippopotamus, boys and girls. Isn't this fun? Somebody giggled. Oh, looks like Spot is hearing somebody giggle. Look under the coat. What's underneath the coat, boys and girls? It's a bird. Two birds. She tickled me. That's a silly way to hide. Looks like he's not even fully hiding. Who do you think it is, boys and girls? Can you tell by the clues and by the long tail? He didn't even fully hide himself. Well, it's a lion. No, it isn't. Oh, Spot knows who's behind the door. Looks like he's getting excited. Who's behind the door, boys and girls? Let's see. Oh, it's a monkey. Or maybe even a gorilla or a chimpanzee. How did you find me? Oh, it looks like he found somebody else under the table. Who's that under the table? What do you think, boys and girls? Who do you think it is? Let's find out. Oh, it's Spot's mother. Shh, don't tell Spot. I don't think he found her yet. Well, it looks like Spot found somebody else, and the mother's coming out from under the table. Calm down, Spot. Let's see who Spot found underneath the pillow. It's a turtle. I'm last. And it looks like the party's going on. Spot has opened all his presents. Happy birthday, Spot. Thank you. It looks like everybody's having a good time. And that is the end of the story. Now, this was a great book. Now, there may not be many sight words for your children to pick up on. And it's maybe a little bit more difficult than Blue Sea. But the fun part about this is, your children can have fun. It's a special lift the flap book, and they can have fun lifting up the flap and finding all of Spot's friends. And even if your child doesn't know how to read yet, they can participate. You can read the lines, and they can lift up the tabs to find all the friends and the clues. But this was a great story. I hope you boys and girls enjoyed it. I certainly enjoyed reading it to you. But what do you say? You want to move on to our activity now? All right. So, in preschool, you probably learned how to draw lines and like straight lines and lines that go up and down, curly Q lines, and maybe even some shapes. You probably use a lot of different things, maybe pipe cleaners, maybe glue, maybe crayons, maybe pencils. Well, you learned all those skills in preschool because they're going to be very helpful when you use them to draw letters. And we're going to start for this activity, we're going to start to trace the first 4 letters of the alphabet. Now we're not doing any lowercase. We're going to work on our capital letters, because those are the letters that those are the types of letters that you most likely think of when you're learning your letters. However, we're not going to do it the traditional way. We're not going to trace the letters with a pencil or a crayon. That would probably be a little bit too boring, right, boys and girls? And you probably do it in school already. We're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to be tracing our letters, but in glue. And maybe you can add a little extra glitter for sparkle. Is that good? Does that sound good, boys and girls? But I'm going to go over step by step how to trace the letters with glue. And when you're done, and you may not be able to see this, boys and girls, because the glue dries clear. It's going to look something like this. But the glue will dry clear, but you can definitely feel it. So this is the A. This is the letter B. And like I said, you can feel it, but you can't really see it right now. This is the letter C. And this is the letter D. So with that being said, are we ready to begin? So let me zoom up to our letters. Just give me 2 minutes while I turn this around. We're just going to zoom in on our letters. There we go. Oh, hold on. Let me switch this around. There we go. All right. So I'm going to show you how to trace each letter in glue. Now, before I do that, I just want to let you know that the idea for this was from an idea from the website No Time for Flashcards. And the worksheets themselves were from the website slimzon.com. So if you're looking for these ideas and worksheets as well as other similar ideas and worksheets, please click on the web links in the video description. Now with that being said, these worksheets, when you registered for this program, you got these worksheets in the kit that you picked up prior to the program. So you should have these. What you should also have is glue. Now, if you have glitter glue, that will work great. It's the best of both worlds. You have the sparkle of the glitter, but you don't have the mess of the glitter. But if you don't have glitter glue, regular school glue works just fine. It will dry clear and you can still touch it. It leaves a nice texture. But if you want a little sparkle in your letters, you can also have you can also bring some glitter if you want. But it's not necessary. Just regular school glue will do. Oops. So, we ready to begin? All right. Here we go. So you're going to take your glue, you're going to start at the dot on the very top of the letter A. Then you're going to very slowly draw the glue down the dotted line. And you're going to continue till you get to the tip of the arrow. Give you a minute to do that. Oh, and if you need more time during these letters, you can always pause the video in between so you have more time to finish what you're doing. But for the next step, you're going to go to the dot over here, get some glue on, and slowly trace upward. And you're going to trace that to the tip of the arrow. Then you're going to go to this dot here, get some glue on, and slowly trace till you get to the tip of the arrow. And once you're done with that, if you want, you can put some glitter on if you don't have glitter glue already. I'm not going to put glitter on this letter. I'm just going to leave it just glue right now. So I'll give you a minute or two to finish. All right, let's move on to the next letter. So we're going to start the letter B now. So we ready? Get your glue ready. Here we go. So we're going to start it from the top. We're going to start the dot here. Then you're going to slowly trace a line. And you're going to keep tracing until you reach the edge of the arrow. All right, next we're going to move over. We're going to hit the dot here. And then we're going to slowly trace around the dotted lines and make a curve. So you hit the edge of the arrow. Alright, lastly we're going to get to this dot here, and we're going to slowly trace the line. Till we hit the edge of the arrow. And like I said, if you don't have, not using glitter glue and you have glitter on to put some on, you certainly can do that. I'm going to go get some glitter. I'll be right back. Sorry, the bigger glitter wasn't open yet. So I'm just going to sprinkle some glitter on my letter. And sometimes it helps to put the glitter in these little bottles. It makes it easier to control. Then when you're done, you're just going to take it and shake the excess off. And there you go. So I'll give you a minute to finish up, boys and girls. Alright, now let's move on to the next letter. We're going to do the letter C. And this is pretty much one straight line. You're going to take your glue, start at the dot, and then you're going to slowly trace on the dotted line. Oops, got a little bit too much there. All the way to the edge of the arrow. Now, like I said, you can put glitter on this if you want to. I'm not going to put glitter on this letter. So I'm going to give you a minute to finish that up. Alright, now let's move on to our last letter, the letter D. And we're going to start off like this. We're going to take our glue, start on the dot, and slowly trace downward on the dotted line. All the way to the edge of the arrow. Then we're going to go on this dotted line next to it and slowly trace on the dotted line all the way around, almost like you're doing a backward C. And we're going to keep tracing that. All the way to the edge of the arrow. Now I'm going to put glitter on this letter. And you can do this too if you want. So we'll just sprinkle our glitter on. And once you have your glitter on, you just shake off the excess. And there you go. Give you a minute to finish that up. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed today's program. I certainly enjoyed it, boys and girls, and I'm looking forward to next month. And I hope you join us next month for our next activity. But until then, take good care of yourselves. Have a great day, and I'll see you soon.